Y'all know the name.
What's going on, guys? My name is Martinio and welcome back to Football Manager 2017. So, for those of you who joined us in the previous episode, you will have bore witness to a very, very good and much welcome bit of revenge as we beat Manchester United by a single goal. It was Conor Hurricane who got it, and it was an absolute belter. Possible goal of the season, not just in the game but also for myself as well. But today, our focus falls on our absolutely massive FA Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium against Leicester City. But before we jump into that, we have a little bit of news to get through and also some highlights, so we're going to jump into those now. So following our 1-0 win over Manchester United, we travelled to Turf Moor to face Burnley, and it was really, it was a disappointing game, it really was. It was hard to watch. Burnley ran out 2-1 winners, Andre Gray getting both goals either side of the half, and they probably deserved more, if I'm being honest, because they were just running absolute riot over us all game long. We couldn't get close to them, and when we had the ball we couldn't keep it. We weren't really creating much. As I said, Gray got both of them in the 39th minute and the 64th. Carl Bartley actually got us on level terms in first half injury time via a little bit of a bizarre goal. Kemar Roof capitalising on a very poor header from Michael Keane, and then he just pretty much shot straight into Carl Bartley's face, and not like that. His shot just hit Carl Bartley right in the face, and it found its way into the top corner. And I was hoping that we would do better in the second half, that I'd give him a bit of a kick up the backside, and we'd go out and do a bit better. But it was just, the traffic was all going one way again, and as you can see from the stats here, possession was relatively even, but they just created so many more chances. It was just so difficult for us. So yeah, disappointing given how well we played against Manchester United. It wasn't an emphatic win against Man United, but we got the job done. But against Burnley, it was just an off day, I think. Following on from that disappointing defeat, though, we fared much better when we hosted Liverpool at Ellen Road, as we ran out 2-0 winners. We got a very good start to the game. We had a couple of good chances, and eventually Lewis Shaw bagged his 7th goal of the season to put us 1-0 up with about half an hour gone. And then a couple of minutes before half time, Liam Bridcourt bagged his 3rd goal of the season to make it 2-0. In the second half, Liverpool did improve a little bit, but for the most part, we just kept them on the lock and key. Their main weapons, which were Markovic, Firmino and Dybala, who moved in January for like 50 million quid. He didn't do anything. And it was a very good win, very welcome win, especially after the Burnley defeat, and also the fact that they beat us 5-2 when we went to Anfield. So it was a little bit of revenge as well, and it was a very good win against another one of the big guns in the league. And the final highlights we have are from our game away to Newcastle at St James's Park, and in this one we were absolutely dominant. Pontus Jansson opened the scoring with about 20 minutes gone. His first header was either saved or cleared off the line, and the second effort the ball just dropped straight to him and he just banged it into an empty net to make it 1-0. And as dominant as we were, it did take a little bit of time for us to find that second goal and put the final nail in the Newcastle coffin, so to speak. And it was the 91st minute when it did come, and it was Jordan Larson. Lewis Shaw with a nice run down the left. His cross was dummied by Kemar Roof, and Jordan Larson just banged it into the bottom corner to make it 2-0, and for his 25th goal of the season. And I mean, looking at the stats, we had more of the possession, just marginally I think, but more shots on target, more chances created and so on. So it was very good. I don't really recall Newcastle having an opportunity where I was actually panicking, thinking, oh god, they're going to score, they're going to equalise. I don't really recall many moments like that in this game. So again, it's a good win for us. Back-to-back wins, of course, following our win over Liverpool, and also a very rare away win, which is something we definitely have to improve on going forward, because our away form has been a bit dire this season. So following those 3 results, it means we sit in 8th position in the league, so pretty much no change. We've been in and around this sort of area for the majority of the season, I think. And we've got 4 games left, 53 points on the board so far, so we could still possibly get 5th position. I mean, if we win, then we go to 56 points, which is just a point behind Liverpool, but it's going to be tough. I think of the teams that could still feasibly get 5th position, which are Chelsea, ourselves, Spurs, Stoke and Liverpool, I think we've got the toughest running, because we've still got to play Spurs, we've still got to play Stoke, we've still got to play West Ham. We've got 3 back-to-back away games following our FA Cup semi-final, which are West Brom, Spurs and West Ham, I think it is. And then the final game is away to Stoke. So we do have a chance, but it is going to be tough, and I don't know, I might take the opportunity to bring some of the younger players through to see what they can do, give them a bit of first team experience, because we've already got European football guaranteed for next season, albeit via the third qualifying round, which again is a bit of a lottery because we don't know who we're going to get, and we could end up facing a really big team, because I think, like I mentioned, I think it was the last episode I mentioned, Juventus were in there last season, or this season should I say. So I don't know, I'm going to give it as good as I got, but if we get to a point where we just can't get fifth, then I'm going to start bunging some youth players in and giving them a shout, giving them a go, sorry, and see what they can do, and also giving them a little bit of experience, because we've got some good youngsters and I want to bring them through. Also some good ones on loan as well, which I may look to bring in permanently should they impress, but yeah, tough running, but overall I think I'd be happy with 8th position if this was where we were to finish. So now we're going to look at a bit of team news, and the first bit is that Xavi finished 3rd in the Player of the Month award for March. Very, very good month. 4 games, 2 goals from a left back is a very, very good return, and a 7.65 average rating. And he also finished 3rd in the Goal of the Month standings as well, behind Lucas Prato and Memphis Depay. So I don't know, looking at it, I haven't looked at the other goals, but it was that goal he scored against Arsenal from nearly 30 odd yards. Granted, Coquelin ducked in the wall, but still, I think it should have got there. And I think I'm still annoyed about Kemar Roof not getting goal of the month for February. That's still jarring me a little bit. And also, Jordan Larson got himself in the running for the Player of the Month, the Young Player of the Month award, sorry. But he was picked by Adalberto Panoranda. So for the first time this season, a player coming from other than Man United or Leeds actually won the Young Player of the Month. But I don't think we're really going to be able to look past Jordan Larson for the Young Player of the Year. If Martial or Rashford win it after he's won 3 awards this season, I'm going to be annoyed. Even if Mbappe wins it, I'm going to be annoyed that Jordan Larson didn't, because he's been absolutely outstanding and I think he fully deserves it. But now on some kind of bizarre news. So the first thing is this. Ivan Cuellar. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. He has been someone I've kind of been looking at because it looks like he's going to be relatively cheap and he's coming into the last year of his contract. And if, say, Silvestri or Pau Lopez decide they want to leave, then this would be someone I'm definitely looking at. And he issued a come and get me plea, which was fine because I have kind of been looking at him, so there is some merit to it. But then the following day, in game, somebody else issued a come and get me plea, and it was this guy, Alberto Rubio of Luton, who, yeah, I've never heard of him either. I don't know, I don't know where this has come from. He issued a come and get me plea, and if we take a look at this, he hasn't even played for Luton this season. What makes you think you're going to walk into my Premier League side when you can't even get into a League 2 side? What goes through your mind, Alberto? What goes through your mind, mate? He's 21 and even his stats aren't that impressive. I haven't scouted him, I don't see the point, but there's no chance I'm going to go buy him. But yeah, it was a weird one. I don't know why this came up, so sorry Alberto, but looks like you're staying in Luton, mate. Have fun. So the last little piece of news comes from the Sky Bet Championship, where Southampton and Norwich have confirmed their promotion to the Premier League. And also Southampton have confirmed their status as going up as champions, basically. So Southampton, I think they secured promotion 3-4 games back, and it's not hard to see why, because they've still got some brilliant players in there. Let's just take a look. Charlie Austin, James Ward-Prowse, Tadic, Classy, Target, Van Dijk is still there, Bertrand, Fraser Forster. So I don't think there was anybody else who was going to win this league. Norwich have also joined them. We pipped them into the automatic places last season when we beat them in the penultimate game, if you remember that. For those of you who have been around for the series for a while. Not really much else to sort out, I think. There's probably a little bit of a relegation battle still between this lot here, but playoffs near enough sorted out. So yeah, not a really entertaining season, but we are going to be getting Southampton and Norwich, and then one from Villa, Sunderland, Forest, or possibly Blackburn or Brentford as well. But now we focus on today's livecom game, which is our FA Cup semi-final against Leicester City at Wembley Stadium. And Leicester, looking at them, as you can see, bottom of the table, not really in very good form. So I'm very confident going into this. Luca Vigiani is the manager. He replaced Claudio Ranieri around, I think it was like late 2017, I think it was. But they've still got most of the players from the title-winning team. They've got Drinkwater, they've got Vardy, they've got Schmeichel, they've got Morgan. The only big player of note, barring Kante, who went to Chelsea before the game even started, was Riyad Mahrez, who went to Arsenal at the start of this season. But they've just been on a real downward slope. So hopefully we're gonna heap it on a little bit more, because I'm a Leeds fan and I live in Leicester, and I had to put up with my brother and my mates going on and on and on about how Leicester won the Premier League and how Leeds were down in the Championship. Well, even though it's not real, we're going to see how the tables have turned, and hopefully we're going to give them a good old pasting and book our place in the final against either West Ham or, and this is the dream, Manchester United. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the game, we're going to take a look at the teams, and then we're going to get this party started. So here we are then, guys, and here are the teams. So Kasper Schmeichel starts in goal, a former Leeds player of course, with Van Beek on the right and Tagliafico on the left. Vestergaard partners Wes Morgan in the centre of defence. Deulofeu on the right, Musa on the left, with Drinkwater and King sitting between them for the midfield, and the very pacey partnership of Slimani and Vardy starting up top. For ourselves, our team pretty much picks itself at this point. Silvestri in goal, Ferrari at right back, Xavi at left back, with Pontus Jansson and Carl Bartley in the central defence. Bridcup partners Harry Kane in the middle of the park, with Kylian Mbappe on the right, Lewis Schaub on the left, and Kemar Roofe and Jordan Larson will continue to lead the line. In terms of the odds though, surprisingly Leicester City are the favourites, and we're only at 13-8. However, with that in mind, I did tell them to basically that they deserve to be in the final, and I expect them to make it happen, because I do. Leicester are bottom of the table. They've got god-awful form at the minute, so if we lose this game, I'm going to be quite annoyed. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to be quite annoyed, because we've got one of the top scorers in the country in Jordan Larson. We've got Kylian Mbappe, who's probably the hottest young prospect in the world, and we've got Kemar Roofe, who's weighing in with assists left, right and centre, so I expect to win this game. So let's jump down to the pitch and get this game started, shall we? So we are then. Wembley Stadium. Packed to the rafters. And Jesus, that was loud in my headphones. There we go, that's better. I'm not deaf anymore. Well, I don't think I am. As we get kicked off. Probably a nothing opening highlight. But you never know, we might get an early goal. Here's Larson. Goes back to Roofe. Ooh, and it hits the roof of the net. Good opening chance, sorry. Okay, so 2 minutes in and Leicester with their first highlight. Here's King. Goes back to Vestergaard. Drinkwater's probably going to look out wide to Musa. Good tackle from Ferrari though, and Larson's got to get up, but Vestergaard beats him in the air. Harry Kane gets the loose ball, and that's a lovely ball through for Jordan Larson. The net's closing in around him, and Schmeichel makes simple work. It was a tame effort really, wasn't it? Poor. So, not much happening, barring that opening couple of chances. We've had the better of it, looking at the stats, but we've not really made anything stick yet. Here's Harry Kane gets on the ball. Goes back to Bridcup. Forward to Larson. Got a bit of support with Roofe, and it's a shot! And it's a goal! Oh, like Randy Orton from out of nowhere! I mean, it's been coming on the basis of the stats, but he just turned and shoot. I weren't expecting him to bag that. I was expecting that to flash wide of the marker at the side netting. So Bridcup to Larson. Larson just turns his man. Gets himself set on that left foot. And just lets rip, really. Schmeichel may be a bit unsighted, but you don't want to see your keeper conceding at the near post. Leicester City 0, Leeds 1, and we've got 1 foot in the final. So, another highlight shortly after we've opened the scoring. Kasper Schmeichel goes along with that kick. But, a bit like Xavi winning the header. Here's Harry Kane. Goes to Kemar Roofe, who is very much due a goal. And he shoots, but Schmeichel's behind it and makes simple work of it. So, nearly half time now. A shot from Deulofeu from a free kick hits the wall and it sprays clear, but he's got the ball again. And Larson makes a brilliant tackle. It's Kemar Roofe now driving at the Leicester backline. Can he make something happen? No, Larson takes over. He's got support, but oh, what the hell was that? Take your slippers off, for God's sake. And there's half time, and we should be more than 1-0 up, I think. But I'm happy. It gives us a platform to go on in the second half and put this game to bed. But we need to get that second goal, because otherwise we could find ourselves getting FM'd. And it's very likely that the manager's going to be giving them a good old talking to, because if we look at the actual stats, I don't know where to look at them. Where's the stats? Here we go. match stats. Leicester have had 1 shot all throughout that half. 1 shot. We've had 17 and 6 on target. They've just had 1 and none on target. So, yeah. We've got to put this lot to bed because they are playing absolutely horribly at the minute. So, I'm just going to calmly tell them to keep it up. So, Roof needs to improve a little bit, as does Schaub. But we'll add a little bit more, just a little bit of a calm faith. There, I've got faith in them. That's what I like, a lot of greenery there. So we're going to start the second half. That's not what I wanted. Ah, where's my pitch gone? No! God damn it, why does this always happen? There we go. Right then, second half. We're started already. And Bridcut's going to get a booking, is he? Maybe? No, he isn't. Thank God for that. So, very quiet openings of the half. We've got about 25 minutes left as Bartley gets up and wins a header. And he wins it again. And again. Here's Hurricane, who's on a booking now. But Drinkwater dispossesses him. Here's Varda. And he gets crowded out and Hurricane gets back. Bridcut with the ball looking for Roof. But Simpson gets up after he was savaged by Jamie Carragher over Twitter. Poor bastard. Here's Jordan Larson now. Can he maybe bag a second? And he goes back to Bridcut. Not much in the way of support for him. Here's Roof. Larson. He's beat his man. Oh, what a finish. That is the finish of a very confident forward. And it's 2-0. 27th goal of the season for Jordan Larson. He has been absolutely on it. And I'd bet my house on him getting 30 goals for this season. So, Kemar Roof, again, turning provider. Finds Larson. I thought he was going to slip through Schaub, but he just bundles his man out of the way and then just bottom corner. I don't know what Schmeichel was doing. He weren't doing that when he was playing for us, but whatever. Leicester City 0, Leeds 2, and surely now we're going to the final. Okay, so seeing as we're 2-0 up and we've got about 15 minutes left, I am going to make a couple of changes because there are some tired legs out there. So DeMarco's going to come on to replace Xavi, who's having a pretty good game actually, but again he's looking tired and we need him for the running. What do I do about Bridcut and Hurricane? Let me just see who's got the better natural fitness. They're both pretty good, but I'm going to bring... No, I'm going to bring Hurricane off actually, because he's on a booking. So I'm just going to tell him to just be a deep line playmaker in support. And also, I think that'll be it. I'll leave it at that for the time being. I may make another change. I may bring on Chris Wood as well, possibly for Kemar Roof. But I don't want to take Larson off because I fancy him to get a hat-trick now. I think he's going to get a hat-trick. So, we've got 2 minutes of added on time. I don't quite know why I'm making the substitution, but I figured I might as well just make it because I've got it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to bring Ricky off. I'm going to bring Ricky on, sorry, for Schaub. I'm not going to take Kemar Roof off. So, Ricky on for Schaub will be our final substitution. Maybe you can do something in the last couple of seconds of the game. So, we've got a corner. Here's Larson to take it, oddly enough. Why are you taking it? It's headed clear by Huth. Only as far as Bridcut though, but that should just about be it. Unless we can maybe bag a third. Cross it, Larson. Someone get in there. Oh no, it's just near post, but there we go. Come on! FA Cup final. And we were dominant. I don't really recall Leicester having a real good chance at all. I know Delafeu had a free kick which he hit against the wall, but apart from that I don't really recall anything for Leicester, so... A very comprehensive victory. I would have liked more goals, obviously, but we've made the final, which is what I wanted. And it gives us a chance of maybe rounding off the season with an absolutely epic, and I mean epic, FA Cup final against the scumbags of Man United, who I just truly hate with everything I am. And Jordan Larson, man of the match, deserved it. He was brilliant. His first goal was good, but his second one, I think that was that's just the finish of a confident forward, really. And Liam Bridcut also did very well. Very, very good. He's just come on leaps and bounds in this second half of the season. He's been absolutely outstanding. So, we've made it to the final. As you can see from the stats, Leicester just absolutely dire. We controlled the possession for the most part. It was marginal at best. But 24 shots, none on target. To Leicester's 4 and none on target. That's a bad day for any team. Doesn't matter who you're playing, that's a bad day. But we've made it to the final. But now what we're going to do is I am going to jump ahead and I am going to see who we're going to be playing in the FA Cup final, because ours was the first semi-final, the second one is West Ham versus Manchester United, so I'm going to jump ahead to the conclusion of that one, and we're going to see who we're going to be playing in this season finale. So there it is then, guys. West Ham 0, Man United 1, which means the finale of Season 2 of my Football Manager 2017 playthrough is going to be Leeds United versus Manchester United in the FA Cup final at Wembley. There's no better way to end a season than this, I don't think. Bitter rivals, we ate them, they ate us. They've beat us once, we beat them once. This is the deciding game for the season, and the FA Cup will be the prize for the winner. This is as epic as it gets, really, guys. Whether you're a Man United fan or a Leeds fan or somewhere in between, this is the game you all want to see for the FA Cup final. Don't lie to yourselves or me, you know you want to see it. So this will be our season finale. But it won't be our next episode. Next episode, we are going to be looking at the finale of our league campaign. So our first season back in the Premiership will come to a close, and we will play Stoke as our live com game, for the next episode, and then obviously the FA Cup final will be a standalone episode. But that's the end of it today. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy and you are looking forward to a massive FA Cup final against Manchester United, then please hit that like button. It's always appreciated. Anything you could do to support me or the channel is always very, very welcome. If you're new to the channel, also make sure you subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today. And also you can check out my other videos, Resident Evil, Project Cars, Sniper Elite. I don't think I've got any videos around me playing with myself, but if that's what you're into, leave a comment down below and I'll try and oblige you. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and as always, I will catch you on the flip side, where very soon we'll be playing these shithouses. Peace!